periodically post the link to the handout in the chat. I would like to thank our programming team, Justin from HPL Programs, Joy and Mitch are my colleagues who all three of them make these Zoom meetings possible. It's a whole different world and where all of us are just limping along as we can, but thank goodness we have this opportunity to get together. We really appreciate it. And I would like to thank my colleague, Stephen, for getting the handout up on the internet. So let's get started. So our presentation today is Mobile Genealogy, and it's presented by Clayton's own Mitch Clendenning. Yay, Mitch. And Mitch has been tracking down his ancestors for more than 30 years. He's a customer service clerk here at Clayton. He wears many other hats also. He is an Apple home advisor and a freelance family history consultant. So Mitch hasn't had a haircut in more than 6 months, but a lot of us haven't, but he did shave for you today. So I am going to stop sharing my screen and mute myself, and I will give the screen over to Mitch. Mitch.
Let me unmute. There we go. Thank you, Sue. Appreciate that. So let me get my setup here real quick. Oh, that's not the right view. Speaker view. There we go. Just a moment. My view completely changed when you switched it over to me. Anyway, like Sue said, my name is Mitch Clendenning. I've been here at the Clayton Genealogical Library for a couple of years now, but doing genealogy for many decades. And I've always had an interest in using technology, specifically computer technology, in my genealogy quest. Last year and the year before, I gave a similar presentation about mobile genealogy. But when I was asked to do it again, I started thinking about it and realized that with everybody kind of at home and a lot of archives shut down, a lot of people unable to go to where the records are, that having something that is easily accessed, that you can use to work on your genealogy, say in a line at the supermarket or in the waiting room of a doctor's office, or just sitting at home waiting for the COVID to pass, makes a lot of sense. And there are lots of ways to do this to kind of break yourself free from the desktop, so to speak. I want to give you a few tips here, show you some, I'm going to demonstrate a few apps, and because I feel like that's the best way to view anything, is to see it in action, and just give you a few tips for preserving and extending your family tree. So let me get started here. I will call up my share. There we go. Okay, so the name of this lecture is Going Mobile, Genealogy Wherever You Need It. I consider calling it portable genealogy because that is also what it gives you, is the ability to take all your research with you, wherever you are, in your pocket, in your backpack. So what we have in our backpacks and in our pockets are really portable genealogy workshops, okay? The amount of technology and power, processing power in these handhelds, phones and tablets is astounding. And the things that developers and programmers are able to do with them is just amazing. And I think you all agree with me when you see some of these apps in action, that this is really a well-suited medium for genealogy, especially for display, for family trees, pedigree charts. It really brings it to life, and it really rescues it from the old black and white, handwritten or hand-typed pedigree charts that I'm sure everybody's familiar with. So I hope you will agree with me that, that these are really perfect for viewing documents and trees. Now this is a program here that's available right now for for iPhone and for iPad. It's not an Android or Windows app because it's a Mac family tree. It's for Mac only, but I'm going to be covering, most of what I'll be covering here will be, we'll have apps in either Android or iOS, okay? iOS being the operating system for the iPhone and the iPad made by Apple, and Android being the operating system for most other phones and tablets. Android, of course, not necessarily, of course, Android coming from Google. So it has its roots in Google. So the thing that makes these things, these devices so useful to us is the cloud. By now, most people are probably fairly familiar with it. It's just basically all your data on a storage device or a server somewhere else, but with a fast enough internet connection that you can access your device, your information from just about wherever you are. It makes transporting data, accessing data faster and easier than it's ever been. It puts it at your fingertips. These are our cloud service, some of the services that you might be familiar with. From the left to right is iCloud, that's by Apple. Then we have the Google Drive, of course, by Google. The second little blue cloud is OneDrive by Microsoft. And of course, the pretty familiar Dropbox logo is there as well. Most of these apps, or all of these apps, can be found in the Google Play Store if you have an Android phone or tablet, or in the Apple App Store if you have an iPhone or an iPad. Your desktop and your mobile devices, which of course makes it very, very useful. So where are we going to go? Well, right now, the problem is that there's not really a lot of places that you can go. A lot of libraries are closed down, archives are closed down, things like that. So I'm not going to do as much presentation on this part as I did before. Just let it be said that preparation is essential for a successful trip. You want to make sure that you've charged all your devices before you go, that you bring cables and plugs and extra cables, because cables break, they malfunction, things like that. Doesn't do any good to have a cable if it doesn't work. So extra cables are not that expensive. You might want to think about a portable charger, something, they look like they're sometimes called bricks or something like that. They're just basically batteries that you can connect your device to and refresh the charge on the device. Make sure, as we said in step number 1, make sure that your portable charger is charged before you go. Now, you might also want to think about some things like Bluetooth keyboards. I sometimes use a Bluetooth camera remote. I'll show you a picture of that in a few minutes. Allows you to take pictures with your device via just a little button that you have in your hand. You don't have to touch the screen. It makes it a little bit smoother for you, a little bit easier. Very, very inexpensive. If you are able to go to an archive or a courthouse or something, you want to make sure that you know the lay of the land before you go in. You want to know what the policies are concerning mobile device usage, including whether they allow you to use flash. Some places will not allow flash photography. So you have to call ahead and find these things out. You want to know if they have Wi-Fi available, because without Wi-Fi, it's going to limit your choices of what you can do and what you're going to take with you. And you want to make sure if there's any passwords you need to know. And sometimes if there's a fee, there might be a fee involved in using the Wi-Fi, and you don't want to be surprised by that when you show up. You also want to make sure, especially if you're using a phone as your mobile device, as your storage and capture device, you want to know what the carrier availability is where you're going, because you want to make sure that you have a strong cell signal, just in case the Wi-Fi goes down, or you're not able to connect for some reason, or they don't have Wi-Fi. you want to make sure that you can still have data going back and forth between your devices. Um, the worst surprise that you would probably get would be to have no Wi-Fi, and then they walk you into like a lead vault where you're not going to get a cell phone signal either. But you can still capture a lot of information. You're just not going to be syncing it back and forth that way. Okay. So let's go back. So we're going to come back to me. Oh, one too many. Okay. Stop here. There we go. Oh, well, let me see. That didn't work. There we go. Okay. So let me go ahead and demonstrate a few of these. I've got an iPad here that's set up to share on the screen. So we will share the screen. Yeah, just a moment, where to go? Okay, so this is an iPad. This is a library iPad. One of the first things I want to talk about are just basic apps that you can, lots of times will either come with your device or you are able to download them for free. Some of them if you have an iPad or an iPhone, you can get apps like Pages, Numbers, Keynote for presentation, Pages for word processing, Numbers for spreadsheet operations. Those are free. You can put those on iPad and iPhone, and they also run on Mac OS. Of course, you're probably familiar with the Office suite of Word, Excel, PowerPoint. I also show OneDrive and OneNote there. You can put those on your mobile devices and use them to access and manipulate documents, things like that. In the handout, there's going to be a matrix showing the different types of apps and the different names for them and where to find them, how to download them. Hopefully, that is on the handout. So the next thing I want to talk about is going to be what's called, I guess, document capture. Okay, lots of times you're in the library, you're in the archive, and you need to capture information. That's why you're there. You want to capture information from books or documents that you find, or just about anything. So these are some apps that are going to help you with that. Now, some of the basic ones, like up in the left-hand corner, is Notes. Notes is a simple note-taking app that's free with Apple. But what a lot of people don't realize is that if you look down there in the very bottom corner, the bottom right corner, you'll see a little camera. Select that camera, and it gives you the option to scan a document. Okay, so that's going to turn on my camera. It's going to see that document right there. And it's not flat enough. Let me flatten it out. It's going to see that document there, and it's going to grab it. It was that easy. I can call it up now. Now, this is not a very good scan. I just kind of did this on the spur of the moment. But you can see how quickly it scanned it, grabbed it, and then saved it into your Notes app. Now it's going to go to your desktop. It'll go to any other devices that you have. That's the Notes app. Google Keep does the same type of thing. If you want something that's a little more scanner-like, I guess would be the word for it. There are scanning apps. One that I recommend is this one up in the upper right corner called Scanner Mini. I'm going to open that up and show you a little bit about that. Now, I'm going to go ahead and turn it to a vertical orientation. Now, you can see I've already got some things in here that I scanned. I shot the other day. I can select one, like I'm going to select the one in the middle. I bring it up, and it saves it as a PDF. very nice. Got all the information that I need from this book that I was looking at. I can send it to other apps if I want to. That you would need to purchase the pro version of this app to do some of this, which is $3.99 for the pro version. So it's not a lot. I'll show you the capture in action here to give you an idea of what it's going to do. So I'm going to hit this big orange plus button down at the bottom, and that's going to allow me to capture a new document. So here I have at my desk, I've got the book that I need. I'm going to capture the cover. Hold it right there. Automatically captures it. Let's see. We can see what we got. Now this is something this is a little bit different. What it does is it assumes that you want a black and white photocopy. So you can go in and you can make adjustments to it to turn it from a black and white photocopy to a regular document. I'm not going to do that right now. That's a little bit more than we need to do. But if I wanted to show you, if I go in and say I need to grab this page right here, there we go. Come on. There's also a button here that you can use to take the photo if it hasn't done it, if it hasn't grabbed it for you. Now it gives you the opportunity. You can come in and you can what's called de-skew. You can go in here. You can kind of account for the odd overlapping of pages. Make sure everything is in there correctly. Then you save it, and then we come back in. Open it up. It's going to do a little processing. Now there's the page. Very nice. I don't believe this does OCR without the paid version, but you can save this as OCR. OCR means that it goes through and the computer tries to recognize the words and letters on the page, so it makes it searchable. Instead of just being an image, it becomes a searchable document for you. So it will let you do multiple pages. Like I showed earlier, you can do multiple pages of a book and store them together. And that allows you to keep all of your information in one spot. So that is Scanner Mini by Real. I believe I had that one listed on the handout. Now, another one I wanted to demonstrate real quickly is called OCR Scanner. It's the one in the upper right, OCR Scanner. This is a similar one, but the purpose for this one is to OCR. So I can hit the plus button at the bottom again. Notice I can do photos that I've already taken, or I can go live to the camera, or I can go to a cloud document if I have something that I want to OCR. I'm going to hit camera. Okay, that's going to bring up the live camera. Now, there's my page. I'm going to hold it steady. This one doesn't automatically click for you. You got to take a shot. Okay, so now we have a photo. We're going to use it. Now I have several options what I can do with this photo. I can OCR it. I can extract text from the image, and this gives you an idea of how quickly it happens. There it is. It's pulled the text out. It's mostly correct. You can go through and maybe make a few corrections if you want, but it's very searchable. It's very searchable. And another thing that I like is, let me see, I don't think I have the sound turned on for this, but in the upper right corner, it has a speak function. It will actually read it to you if that's something that you need done. But you can OCR it, you can do OCR image to PDF, which is basically going to give you the same image, but it will include the OCR data with it so that it becomes a searchable PDF document. Then you can export it to something else, to some other thing that you want to handle it with. So, and then there's some other things in here that you can do. This is very nice. It's also free. That's what I like about it. It's free. So that's an OCR scanner. Now, Adobe makes a scan app called Adobe Scan. It's very similar to all the other ones. They'll want you to have a free Adobe account with this. It doesn't cost you anything except maybe some email, and it does a lot of the same things that these other ones do. But of course, this one has more of a hook for paying for things. You know, they want to bump you up into payment options, things like that for things. Not necessarily what we want. For Office, we have something called Office Lens. It's over here on the left-hand side. It's orange, and this is Microsoft's entry into this thing. It does the same type of thing. Let's say we call up a page. It will try to grab that page for you. Let's see. Okay. Take the picture. Again, now this one did a little bit better job of capturing it, so you confirm it. And there's the picture in Microsoft, ready to transfer to Word, or you transfer it to some other, like OneDrive, something like that for Microsoft. You can also go through and do some of the cleaning up, things like that you want to. You can save it to OneDrive or something like that. Very similar option to this, and this is also free along with Office. Now, something that I also wanted to show is something called Photo Scan. This is also for capture. This is produced by Google, and it allows you to capture a photo. This is primarily for use when you have something that is not easily photographed, like say a photo in a frame on the wall, or just for some reason you can't get a decent shot of it for glare or something like that. You can come in here, and the way this one works is you press go, and it gives you 4 spots, and it guides you. It tells you, now put that circle over that spot, put the circle over that spot, put the circle over that spot, put the circle over that spot. Okay? And so what it does then is it will give you, oh, got it. My removal is off. Okay. It will give you, it will take those pictures and put them together. Now this one actually turned around upside down. But it will give you a composite of everything together to give you a nice shot. I don't have anything really that has a lot of glare on it up here to do this with, but it is very effective for removing glare, things like that. This is also free. This is from Google as well. Okay, so that kind of wraps up a lot of the capture apps. I did want to show you one other thing in this department, though, is a workflow for capturing documents, especially from books, things like that. I'm going to show you what it looks like in my photos collection here. I went and I shot a bunch of documents, and the workflow is to start with just a picture of the desktop, right? Then you take a picture of whatever you want to take. I usually try to take a picture of the cover, take a picture of the title page, make sure you get all the information on the reverse of the title page, and then go through and shoot whatever you need from the book. Now, eventually you come up to, if you go back, you'll see by doing this, by putting a blank desktop in between each set of documents, it creates a little easier way to find and track which documents go with which book, where one book starts and one book ends. If you're doing a lot of documents from say a file folder or something like that, I would follow the same type of flow. This just creates a very easy way to look at here, and I can see wherever I see the desktop, is the beginning of the next document. So it makes it easier to go from book to book, especially if you've done a whole day's research. You've got hundreds of photos. It makes it a little bit easier to find things for you. One of the things that I like to use when I can is this little thing here. It's a little tabletop stand, holds my camera, my phone, allows me to capture very quickly, holds the phone steady. Now, I did talk about a Bluetooth remote trigger. That is right there. It's just a very small little Bluetooth that attaches to either your phone or whatever device you're taking photos with, and then just triggers the camera for you. That's about the only thing that it does, but that makes it very simple, very easy to use. I can just sit there and turn pages and snap photos and not have to worry about the phone, the positioning, or anything like that. So that's what I wanted to show you there. So if we move on now to another group of apps that I wanted to demonstrate are apps that can tie to, that show you your tree. Apps that can allow you to do some research, mobile research. You can use them to view trees, family groups, documents, things like that. Each of these are a little bit different, so I wanted to show these to you. The first one I want to show you is called Reunion Touch. It's up in the left-hand corner. This ties to Reunion software, which is available for Mac. Excuse me, Mac. It's a Mac only. It's been around for quite a while. It was the first genealogy software that I used a long time ago. It was in black and white back then. But as you can see, it gives you access to your family tree. Obviously, this is not my family tree, but we're going to use this as an example. It gives you a surprisingly large amount of data on one screen. If you do want to get more information, you can just tap on a person like I did there, and you can get the information about the family. So we want to go down, we want to see his son. There's John Fitzgerald Kennedy. Siblings. There's Kathleen Kennedy. It always shows up above each one. It shows the parents. Down below, it shows the children. And over to the side is a scrolling list of people that are in the family tree with a last name, first name search at the top. So if I go in here and type Shriver, search, it calls up everybody with the Shriver surname. I can go right to Robert Sargent, Robert Shriver Sargent Jr. Robert Sargent Shriver Jr. Okay. So that shows you family. You can also view your tree. This is the tree that was put together in Reunion for Mac, showing the different, obviously the different generations and things like that. This is adjustable in lots of different ways. This is why I like to say that this is very useful for family tree viewing, because it's just very intuitive. You can go right to where you want to go. No, you're not dragging your mouse around. You're not clicking on stuff. And it's also rotatable. So you can rotate to a better view like that. And then if you want to look at somebody, you can focus in on that person right there, or you can focus in on that person. And it's very nice, very nice. And then you also have an ages list for people showing birthdays and things like that. Very, very nice. You can actually go in and you can edit. I believe you can edit. Yes, you can edit on these. Let me see if I can do it. Turn this sidebar. Now, if you notice over here on the sidebar, you can also have a place list. There's not any places in this one. But let's see. If you notice now for Joseph Patrick Kennedy, I have an option there to edit person. Selecting edit person takes me to the actual record for Joseph Patrick Kennedy. And if I need to add or change anything, I can do that. If I find out a new fact or something, I can add a new fact to it. I can add media to it as well. If I need to add another photo, I can even take a picture. If I have somebody that has a photo that I can't scan, I can just take a picture right there and add it right at that point. I can go in and add notes. I can add a new note if I need to. I can add a new fact if I need to, a new event. So I need to add say an election event. I can go in and put in that information as well, complete with the citation. So it basically gives you control over your entire tree right there in the palm of your hand. And it is available on the iPhone as well. So very portable, very nice. That is Reunion Touch. Now, I know a lot of people use Roots Magic. So Roots Magic is another one that I have on here. Very similar in layout. It's got the surname list, although it's showing up only surnames. You'd have to select a surname in order to see the people underneath with that surname. It gives you a tree. You can go, say if I want to go a little bit farther in this tree, I can go over here to the right and hit the arrow to the right. And that takes me a little bit farther on the tree if I want to. If I want to see information about somebody in here, I can view the details for that person. I can view the media for that person. And this all comes out of your Roots Magic database. You basically, all you need to do is to copy and paste the database to Dropbox. And then Dropbox has a folder, and then you just sync it from Dropbox is what it does. So it allows you to view all of these things. The only thing that I have not found, figured out how to do with this is to do any kind of, change any kind of information. I can look at sources, look at media, there's no media there, but there's no way to really change anything. So this is more for viewing type of situation. If you just want to settle answer a question or just check on something, you can come in here. You can see there's a family group here. Even a sort of not really an awful tree, but pretty close to it. You can adjust it to show more generations if you want. So it also has some tools in there. It's got a calendar, a date calculator, a relationship calculator. Even does a sound X. If you need to have sound X, you can put in a name, and it will spit out a sound X code for you. So very handy. That's Roots Magic. Now, along similar lines, some people may use one called Herodis, or I believe Arity, and this is the 2020 version. This is the blue one with a leaf. They have one as well that allows you to work. I don't have any photos or anything in this one, but it does the same sort of thing that the other ones do. It gives you access to your database. It's basically uploaded through Dropbox again, I believe is how this one does it. Gives you access to some charts, gives you indexes for places, persons. If you go to the home position, oh, that's not right. Okay, so let's look at somebody here. If I can get this to work. It does allow you to add information. You can add information to this. Well, I had this earlier. Maybe if I switch it the other way. No. Anyway, that's Arity, if that's one that you use. That is a free program to use on iPad. It is a paid program on Mac and Windows. There are versions for Mac and Windows. It is free on mobile device, so that's something to consider. If you use Family Tree Maker, there is a free app called FTM Connect, Family Tree Maker Connect, which just basically gives you access to your tree. You have to have your tree uploaded to their I believe they call it ancestries, or they have a database for that, for those now. It's the backup trees. So you sign in with your Family Tree Maker information, log in, and then it gives you access to the tree that you have within Family Tree Maker. Now it's very nice. It does the same thing. It gives you access to your tree, gives you access to, I can show person info. It does not give me access to actually change anything. I can go in and check relationships, things like that. Again, this just helps to illustrate why I like using an iPad and an iPhone for this type of thing, because it just gives you, it just flows naturally. It just works naturally, I think. And so the last one along these lines that I'm going to show is called Branches. And there is a free version. There's also a paid version. So let's see, begin Branches. What this does is it allows you to either upload a GEDCOM, or you can actually link into your family search family tree and connect to it. It looks very bare bones, and it is, but what it offers, I think, is very interesting. By pinching and zooming, you can zoom right in on whatever generation or family group that you want. And as you zoom in, you see that all that information is there. You just got to get to it. You just zoom into it. Very interesting way that they do it here. Actually pretty fast. It's very fast for moving from generation to generation. But you can do a family view, a descendant view. You can, like I say, can add family search. Family view gives you, I mean, it's bare bones. It's not a really pretty one, but it gets the job done. So that is called Branches. Like I say, this is the free version. There's also a paid version. I think it's about $9, $10, something like that. It has lots of different options that it will do for you. Now, the other thing that we're going to look at is our online databases, like Ancestry, Family Tree, MyHeritage. Now, we can start with Ancestry, which I'm sure most people are familiar with. They do have a mobile app. It's pretty much the same on iPad as it is on the phone. It gives you your tree. It's very familiar looking. You can go into the tree. When you see, I don't know if you can see here on Robert, he's got a little pedigree symbol there on his head. That tells me that he's got more descendants. Oops. That tells me he's got more descendants that I can view. So I can tell him to view tree. Now I can see his family and all of his descendants. And you can zoom in. You can see it's very interesting to be able to move it like this. I enjoy that. This is the family tree, the family view. There's also a pedigree view, okay, showing all the offspring of Robert and his wives. There's also what's called a map view, which is going to show me the location of events that are in the program. So if I want to see, well, what sort of things in my family has ever happened in North Carolina? What's in North Carolina? Well, I can get down there, I can see there's actually quite a few things, and it puts them in the right location. if I tap on something like that number 2, it tells me these are the 2 events in my database that occurred in Surrey County, North Carolina. So it gives me a little information. If I want to see, well, who was over here, who was nearby over here, where'd it go? Oh, that shows me James England Sr. was born in Burke County, North Carolina. It also gives me a little, there's actually a genetic link to this person here. It shows me where they were born as well. So that's a mapping function. It's very useful. Of course, you can always just go through and search for people in the index. Now this is where you can get in. This probably looks very familiar to you if you've been an ancestor before. You can call up the life story view that they generate for you. You can call up your sources view. Or you can even go in and actually look at the sources. Okay. And see the actual documents downloaded from Ancestry. You can save them. You can export them if you want. You can look in the family view. You can see the family, mother and father, siblings. You can select somebody and move to that person. Get a whole new set of information. You can call up the gallery view for that person. So if you have clippings, photos, anything associated in gallery, that's available to you here. You can have notes that you can add. You can even, if you look right there, there's a little leaf with the green dot. You can even view hints for a person. And this is something that is very useful to do if you're standing in line at the grocery store, or like I said, or you're waiting in your car for curbside delivery or something. You can just sit there and go through hints for somebody, and go through and say, well, I don't think that's that person, and say yes or no. Go through and confirm, deny. You can even call up the document there as well, and go right to it. So it's the same thing you can do on the desktop. Only I think it's actually a little bit easier because you're with using your hands, it's just a little more natural, it seems to me. Anyway, so that is the Ancestry app. Family Search also has one called Family Tree. Family Tree, very similar concept, very similar look. They have everybody color coded by sex. You can go in and you can go in and select these arrows to give you more generations of somebody. You can go back as far as it will take you, which is in Family Search can often be quite a long ways. If you want to edit a person, you just select them. You've got their information available to you, all the same type of layout that you would see on Family Search. You can have details. You have spouse information, which also includes family. You can add children, add spouses, information on parents, information on sources from Family Search, and even the Memories tab, which is a separate app from Family Search, which allows you to upload and maintain photos, documents of your own online, and then you can link them to the people in your tree in Family Search. So if you have a photo of somebody and then somebody else is also doing the same type of research, they're able to see that photo as well. Interesting thing about my great-grandfather, Clark Olney, he's one of the ones that got me started doing family history. He did a book because he was a man of his times, and so he was concerned that he was about to daughter out, meaning only have daughters and not have any sons to carry on his name. So he wanted to show his line, how long his line stretched back. Little did he know that his wife, Margaret, my great grandmother, her line actually went farther back than his, but he never bothered to check it. It actually went back to the Mayflower. So you never know what you're going to find sometimes. Anyway, that is Family Search. That is also free. MyHeritage, a very similar offering to those two. You create an account with Family Search, you put your information in, and you can either do it here, you can do it online with a desktop or a laptop. It gives you information over here on the side. You can see, you can view events, little plus button, you can add information, you can add a fact, add a photo, scan photos. They also do colorizing of photos as well. Let me see if I can find one of those here. I don't have that on this one, but you can add a photo and then colorize it. But that also requires a paid subscription in order to access the records and things. But it does allow you to carry a tree with you as well. If you're doing DNA, Ancestry DNA has its own app. It does most of the same functions that the Ancestry DNA does if you're sitting down at a desktop or a laptop. Very, very much the same thing. It gives you access to your matches. You can go through and compare matches, compare ethnicity, things like that. I'm not gonna go through here because there's a lot of personal data in here, but if you've done Ancestry DNA online through a desktop or a laptop, this is very much the same way, except you're able to carry with you. Do it on the couch, let's say. Let me see, I'm not sure. I think that's pretty much what I wanted to show you today. I did overlook one, and that was the memories. If you look up here, we have, you see that the memories app is in the middle of the screen at the top. That's the one that is tied to Family Search, and that allows you to add images to your Family Search account, and then you can tag them with people's names, topics, things like that. You can attach them to events in Family Search. So it's basically the same type of thing that Ancestry gives you, but Family Search chooses to make them into two different apps that kind of work together. So that's Memories and Family Tree for Family Search. Now, the other thing that I wanted to do, if I'm going to be able to do it, let's see, is show you the mobile family tree, which is I'm very happy with. Okay. Should be, allow me to share. No. I need to stop sharing. Oh, no. Well, let me share. Let me get. Let's see, I don't think I'm doing it right. Oh, there we go. There we go. Okay. So now we're back. Now we don't want to screen. Okay. So what I'm going to try to do now is I'm going to try to screen share from my phone. Will allow you to see what I wanted to show you before with mobile family tree. We'll start this. So this is my phone. And if we come over here, we have what's called family. It says Family Tree 9. It's a little confusing. It says Family Tree 9 on the app. When you open it, it's called Mobile Family Tree. And it gives you, again, online access to trees. You save the trees. There's no cost for that. There is a fee for the app. And it links to a Mac app as well. Now, if I want to view a tree, I just select it, like we're going to look at the sample tree again, and then it gives you this handy guidance. But the thing I like about this is the color that they use and just the way that they present a lot of this. if we can get it on the screen, there we go. It gives you lots of interesting, it's very customizable. It gives you lots of very interesting ways to view information. You can view it with, you can have photos or not. If you want to look into one particular branch of the family, you can change the focus to that person, and now you have their family. They're viewable as well. That's just the interactive tree. It also has a lot, you can also edit your people. You can edit your sources, things like that. You can add media. You can also tie it to family search if you want, and tie the individuals to the family search tree, update, and that way you can update from either one. It does have a lot of charts that are available. Everything from the complete tree chart, which is very nice, very useful, and it's also very customizable. I have to slow down a little bit because that's a lot of movement. It's not catching it very well. Okay, it allows you to zoom in. It's not really going through very well on this, but it allows you to zoom in on a document or on a person in the tree and just look at one generation, something like that. If we come back out, it also allows you to do a very beautiful fan chart, and it seems to be frozen. Well, let me just get out of this. Okay. Anyway, that's Mac Family Tree. That did not work very well. Anyway, that's pretty much what I wanted to go over today. I'm sure there's lots of, I'm sure there's lots of questions. There may be questions. Let me see, I've got one more slide here. Let's see. Oh, where did it go?
Well, Mitch, while you're searching, we can look through some questions. One of the questions was, what stand do you use?
You know, really, that's a good question, because I just went through Amazon and went through lots of different stands, and I really couldn't tell you the name. It's one of those situations where one or two people, companies make the stands, and then they're sold by lots of different outfits and companies. And this was on Amazon. You can find them at other outlets as well. I would just look for something that this is pretty stable. I think the next one I get would be a little more stable than this, a little bit bigger. It'd be nice to be able to use it with an iPad, something like that. But not very expensive. This one cost me less than $20. So you can always just, if you have different needs, you can always spend a little bit more, get something a little bit nicer.
Okay. Well, I would like to apologize. Well, first of all, I'd like thank everybody for attending. And one of the things I would like to apologize is if you logged into a different Zoom meeting, I'd like to apologize for that, because like I mentioned at the top, we did change the date. And so we had to come in and move everybody over. And we've gotten a couple questions about, will this presentation be recorded? And the answer to that question is yes. The presentation will be recorded, and we are working on getting things mounted to our webpage, uploaded to our webpage, where you found the handouts. And I'm going to share my screen really quick.
Oh, Sue, I've got my last slide.
Oh, okay. Go ahead, Mitch.
I'll just put that up real quick. This may be the same thing that you were talking about, but this just gives you information on contacting us. If you have any questions, we're not open, but we are taking requests. We're taking family history questions. You can call us in if you're looking for presentations for your group. We provide Zoom presentations, things like that. So there is information there on how to reach us.
Okay.
Well, with that, I will hand it over to you.
Great, Mitch, thanks. Why don't you, give me back the screen. And then, so I did want to apologize to everybody, like I said. And then here is the information on getting to the handouts. So if you go to houstonlibrary.org/Clayton and then click on the events and exhibits, and here is where the handouts are. And we are working with our communications team to get our presentations uploaded. So I don't have a specific time on that happening, but I can say that this is where it will be. So just coming back to check on that. But at the very least, like I said, I would like to thank our colleague Stephen for getting these handouts mounted up on the internet, and then of course our programming team. One of the other things I wanted to show was our upcoming programs. Let's see. Okay, so here are our upcoming programs for September, October, and November. If you do not already receive our newsletter, you can also link to our electronic newsletter, which does give you information about our programming. And you can see, of course, on the 25th, Franklin Smith is doing Thinking Like a Genealogist using your 5 censuses. And then in October, we're very excited to continue our Family History Month programming virtually. So we have Dana Leeds talking about her Leeds methods. We're bringing in the Chief Deputy District Clerk of Galveston County to do research in court records. We've got LaBrenda Garrett Nelson talking about using DNA to identify enslaved ancestors. Paula Stewart Warren will be talking about Native American research. Our own Irene Walters will be doing medical genealogy, defining obscure medical terms used by our ancestors. We're doing that one around Halloween because we thought it was kind of gross and we thought we might be able to work on that. And then in November, we're bringing Rick Voigt to, some of you might know of VividPix, which is a photographing software and program where you can take and restore and manage your photos. So we thought that would be good in between the holidays to talk about that. So again, you can look at our webpage. There's a link to our programming. You can go to our website, which is just houstonlibrary.org. And up at the top, there's a link there to calendar, or you can go to houstonlibrary.org/Clayton. Let's see, what other kind of notes do I have? Oh, I'd also like to thank Mitch for using the Soldiers of the Ohio War of the Rebellion. You know, being a Midwesterner, I was very excited to see those Midwestern resources. And then also, Mitch, could you explain, when I saw on Roots Magic, we had KRC, his mustache. What is that? There was a little link there with a photo to his mustache photos.
Oh, well, it was just, I think it was just something that I used to identify photo for me. I don't know if I have it available. KRC was my one of my great grandfathers.
So Joy has put in the chat box our e-newsletter link where you will get our quarterly newsletter. And then also you will get our monthly programming newsletter, but always you can go to our website and sign up for Zoom meetings. Joy, did you see any other questions?
There's one question about downloading a number of PNG docs and connecting them into one. How can that be accomplished?
PNG doc, well, PNG is really a document format. PNG stands for Portable Network Graphics, I believe. It was another version of the GIF format. So linking them together is not really an option because they're not designed that way. You can't really link together or join together JPEGs into a book without using some other type of software. A PNG would be the same type of thing. Now, if you were to convert the PNG into a PDF document, I'm not sure what the results would be, but that would be about the only way to combine several PNGs.
Joy, anything else that you saw? Anybody else? Let's see.
It looks like one person had trouble finding the Family Tree Connect app on a Samsung tablet and Google Play.
Mm-hmm. And then I had a question about what does Branches work with?
I answered that one. Branches works with GEDCOM format. You can also link directly to your family search account and pull the information from that as well. It's bare bones, so it doesn't really convert from other formats, other databases, things like that. GEDCOM is mainly what it runs on.
Plenty of great presentation comments. Thank you all. Anything else you have, Joy, that you saw? Anybody else?
Nope, Sue, it looks good.
Okay. Well, I would like to thank people from Maryland, from Colorado, from Michigan, from Pennsylvania, from California, North Carolina, Illinois, Nebraska, Washington State, Minnesota, of course, in the area, Florida, and throughout Texas, and Toronto. And if I missed where you were from, I just appreciate that you came and spent time with us today. We really appreciate reaching out to you guys, and we look forward to seeing you on our next presentation, which is September 25th for Franklin Smith on using your 5 censuses. And if you've never had Franklin do a presentation, he's got great stories. So, Mitch did a great job. We appreciate everybody, and thank you all for coming. Have a safe, fun Labor Day weekend. Appreciate it. Thank you all.
Okay, I'm just answering a couple of questions here.
Okay, that's great. That's great.
Oh, look, somebody from Holland, Texas.
Okay. You done, Mitch?
Yeah, I'm just gonna look for one thing here for somebody. Let me see if I can
Okay.
help Renee find FTM Connect.
Okay. After you finish that, let Justin know so he can stop the recording. Well, I guess maybe
Okay.
you can stop the recording, I guess, now.